Let's talk about one that's kind of ongoing now that I think you just broke in here today, maybe. Cristian Tello to LAFC. You said it kind of hinges on Brian Rodriguez leaving as well. Where are we at with that, and how's this kind of unfolded? I think I saw a thing that said it was almost done or pretty close to done. Where does that leave us? I guess the rich kind of getting richer here.
Yeah, so there have been some reports in Spain that says it's like completely done or whatever. Again, I'm not here to like parse words or mince words, but from what I'm hearing is that it's very close, and that could be alluding to like the people have put out like contract figures and contract lengths. So like the way that I'm interpreting it is that either a deal's agreed or they know that a deal can be agreed, but it can't happen without Brian Rodriguez leaving, or I mean, in more complicated scenarios, it could hinge on other players. But again, just stylistically, not even with the salary cap stuff, like it wouldn't make sense to sign him without Brian Rodriguez leaving. And again, Rodriguez wants to leave. Club America and LAFC have gotten closer on a deal. Last week, I reported that. That's still not done. So Tello's still not technically done. There's a little bit of moving parts with the ins and outs here, but yeah. So Cristian Tello, the former Barcelona and Real Betis winger, should be in MLS soon, as long as the Brian Rodriguez deal gets done. And just a quick point that somebody pointed out, like the transfer window closed 3 weeks ago. How is this possible? MLS teams can still sign free agents until September 2nd. So. And he's a free agent the same way that Carlos Gil's brother, Nacho Gil, is just signed with New England Revolution. So players who are free agents can still be signed.
Now, what does that mean for LAFC going forward here? Because they've already obviously got one of the deepest teams we've ever seen. They've got talent up and down the board for days. What does that mean for them? Is that just kind of, another chip, another card that they can play? Is he going to be kind of a centerpiece? Like what do they view his role as?
I'm not sure. Like, Gareth Bale has been a borderline human victory cigar in his month and a half with the team. Like, then you have like Brian Rodriguez. If everybody's here and fit, Brian Rodriguez wasn't a starter, and theoretically Tello's coming in for him. Like, Denny Bouanga should be viewed as, like, I know he doesn't have the name of Cristian Tello because he didn't play for Barcelona. He hasn't been around as long, but Denis Bouanga is a huge talent, and like the way that he all like balances and complements Vela, Bale, and Chicho Arango. That guy is, as if all goes well, as long as he's fit, whenever he should be getting here soon if he isn't already for his visa and stuff. That guy's a starter. So like the way I see it is Bouanga, Arango, and Vela as starters. So that leaves Gareth Bale and Cristian Tello as air quote subs or rotation, competition, whatever you want to call it. Like, that's a long-winded way of saying I have no goddamn clue because there's so many options for this team. It's like you said, that's the deepest front line in MLS history. Like, full stop.
Easily. By a long way, too. And I know they've been working on a Mamadou Fall here as well, which that one kind of surprised me a little bit because, the whole reasoning behind Chiellini was, well, he's going to mentor Mamadou Fall. And now off goes Mamadou Fall after 1 month of Chiellini. I guess this was just something where, be real, they just kind of came in and said, hey, yeah, he's trained with us before. We like him. He's going off. Like, we just want him back. Is that kind of what happened there?
Yeah, as far as my understanding, like, there's been all year a ton of teams that are interested in this player. He's I think he turned 19 during the season, I believe, but he's a 19-year-old center back that was starting for the first half of the year. He was a starter for the best team in a top flight domestic league. Like that, there's not that many of them. So like and his physical profile and his technical profile is like, it's every European club's dream. And these European clubs, they want to sign these players as soon and as early as possible to get them into training and stuff. Like, I've talked to a big English club. They have a scout here, and like the point is that they want to sign guys from 16 to 19. They like don't even want a 20-year-old. Like, they want to get the player into their system as soon as possible. And again, like you said, he trained with Villarreal as a teenager at multiple times before he signed with LAFC and MLS. Like, that's a player who, again, I don't think that this is related to anything. And I thought at the time when they were going with the whole, who's a better mentor for somebody like Mamadou than Chiellini, I think that was just a good way to deflect questions, not having to answer. Well, if there's interest, we'll see if a deal makes sense. The only thing that I'm surprised about is I'm not aware of any purchase option in this deal, which is odd to me because, obviously Villarreal would do this because they want him for a long-term future. And maybe it's just something that they just didn't set a price between the two clubs and they'll continue talking about it. But again, I'm sure the idea here is for Villarreal to purchase